I feel happier. I feel more content. I feel more at peace. And things have opened up in ways that I could never have anticipated or explained. And it's wild to me, to be honest. And I'm so grateful.
There we go.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Honestly, so amazing to see you today. I think we've had a couple of calls where like there's been some tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's such a lightness to you today.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. You're like beaming in a way that I haven't seen.
I've been through some really tough shit. I mean, probably not as tough as, things that many other people face. So I'm not trying to, but like I've been through some tough shit. And yeah, it feels nice to like finally be seeing the lessons in those things, and the opportunities to grow and to pay it forward. I initially reached out to you because I was interested in learning breath work. And that's how I discovered your Instagram page. And for me, I was looking for ways to settle my nervous system because I had been through a lot of health issues and some life events, and we've talked about that. But I was feeling upregulated all the time, and I felt a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of pressure on myself to perform and to achieve, and the go of life. I felt like it was actually starting to affect my health. Like I couldn't figure out how to calm myself down and reach like a more baseline state of just being centered and present. And I also work with athletes who experience a range of those emotions and preparing for their performance too, from being upregulated, like I tend to be, and having nerves and being unable to find a more calm intensity before games to perform, and also the opposite, being too downregulated, not being able to get themselves up when they needed to be able to perform. So I had heard about breathwork initially as a way to somatically regulate your nervous system, and so that's why I reached out to you. And then we talked and we had this really amazing conversation where you focused, yes, like breath work and the somatic experience is really important, but really it's much more foundational than that, and internal, and reframing the way you think and the way you see the world. And so you suggested that I take your program, and I was initially, I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And it ended up being so much more than just breath work. I mean, it truly was a course in how to be present and to find that feeling of centeredness within yourself that is so key to experiencing life in a different way, and ultimately to performance. And I think that you're absolutely right when you say that when you come at things from a place of presence and connectedness, that things unleash for you and they open up. And I've experienced that firsthand after these last 6 weeks, is that all of a sudden I feel happier, I feel more content, I feel more at peace, and things have opened up in ways that I could never have anticipated or explained. And it's wild to me, to be honest. And I'm so grateful. It's like kind of mind blowing, because like the things that happened like in the last week, right, are things that I've kind of secretly been wanting for like years upon years upon years, and have never felt brave enough maybe to like go after them, or self-confident enough to go after them. And like they came to me. I feel like very at peace and calm and like more positive. Things are like things are opening up. And thank you. Like truly, like thank you. I feel like kind of meeting you in this course like came along at the right time, which is another like kind of like gift from the universe. Like you were on the wrong path. Like let's reshift you, like over here.
The subtlety there is you haven't found peace through the things. You found peace, and then things are coming. That's the reframe.
Yeah.
That's the cosmic joke, is the thing we're looking for, which is peace, which is love, which is happiness and joy.
Yeah.
We find that first, and then we don't need the things, and then we get them.
It is really, I feel like we're like in on this little insight that like everyone should be in on, and like so few of us actually are. Yeah, like trauma and grief and all these things are processes that you have to go through, like chemically. But
you will have grief. and you will have stuff in your life that sucks, and you will have moments that are shitty, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
The difference is the person going through it is different.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Is there's a Lindsey now that is much more expanded and present, and is this more boundless being. It's not this kind of limited, quite scared identity, because for that identity, the grief and the clinging is overwhelming. And for this being, there's still that process you go through. You're human, you're going to go through it. It's just, you can kind of experience it with a smile. And this is part of the journey, and this is human. And today it's painful, but it's also like, wow, yeah, do this. And there's a real, I find that even in my bad moments these days, I have this awareness of like what a privilege it is to feel this range of human emotion. It's like, it's the sort of roller coaster of like, sometimes it's and sometimes it's like fucking overwhelming and terrifying, and sometimes you just want to get off, like, but it's all part of the sort of ride you're on, and you don't necessarily have control of exactly how the ride goes, but what you can do is just like, can you enjoy it even when it's shit?
This course has helped me to re-examine so many things in my life and to see my own patterns more clearly and to be able to make different choices, which is everything.
It's everything. I mean, it's a different person that's speaking to me. That is the thing. It's just a completely different person. It's different energy. It's different. The choices are just are a natural outcome of the identity, and I think that's what you're experiencing. Actually, it's not that the Lindsey I spoke to day one is making different choices. It's that there's a different Lindsey, and that different Lindsey cannot not make different choices. You're not going to have the same relationships because it's not the same person. There's not those same fears and compensations and like insecurities, and that's what's really amazing. And so what opens up from here, that's when it gets really exciting, of like, you don't know what's possible because you've never been this person, and that's super exciting.
It is. And I have like this newfound sense of confidence almost. And I think that's becoming evident in my relationships. For example, I've always been a nervous for public speaking. Public speaking makes me so nervous. I get nervous for meetings like this. I mean, this last week I had 3 hours worth of Zoom interviews, and I didn't put all of this pressure on myself beforehand. I wasn't like, oh my God, if I'm not perfect in these meetings, I was gonna fall apart, right? Like I went in there and I was present and I was okay with whatever happened and I was at peace and I nailed it. I mean, I really did. I was a version of myself that I didn't know existed. And I was confident and I was poised. And for once, thoughts were just coming clearly through my mind. Whereas I think before, nerves would have suppressed some of that stuff, and it's in there, but I would have had a hard time getting it out. But everything just flowed. It was just validation that all of this is like set me on the right path.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really was. It was awesome.
I mean, I
and
think
I'm
we
proud
talked
of
about
myself and I feel good about it. What?
We talked about that in one of our probably earliest calls, was as an athlete, obviously relating to that idea of like, you know what to do when the head comes in, all the stories and the fears. That's when you don't perform, is when actually you get in your own way. So it's not like you need to get better than you are. It's you need to actually just accept you already know what to do. And that's what you're saying. Yeah. It's like you didn't get in your own way, and you were just there. You were present, and you are obviously know what you're doing and are capable of doing the job, and you're incredibly good at public speaking, actually, from what I've experienced. It's just when your stories get in the way, that's when
I'm very attached to how I'm perceived and how that affects my sense of self-efficacy and self-confidence. And when I let that go and just let what's inside, my knowledge and my experience, to just channel through me, good things happen. And that's my most authentic self. And so you've helped me to find my most authentic self. And I really appreciate that. Truly.
Is there anything in particular that kind of you felt really resonated or like landed, or maybe more than one thing, but sort of specifically any concepts or anything that like really landed for you when you went through them?
I'm I come from a family of doctors, so we're very science driven, and evidence based. And so your first module for me particularly, when you related um, some of the somatic and the feeling qualities with scientific backing, and this idea that, you know, things like string theory and how we're all connected and we're all made of the same things. And it's interesting, like those are things I felt at times, various times in my life. But for me, I'm always like, is there evidence? It is not always, you know, it's like, but that's how I am. And so um having that having the way you laid it out with um I know you the spirituality and the philosophy and the science that backed it up really resonated for me. But I think what resonated most was your last module when we put it all together and we talked about how to show up in your daily life with things like integrity to yourself um and purpose and meaning and compassion um and how it was all connected through this feeling of love and presence. Um, that really resonated with me because it wasn't a lens through which I'd ever looked at things before, especially the love component. But thinking about things through that lens has made such a difference for me and given me like peace and a sense of contentedness that is invaluable. And you're so well spoken and you're so knowledgeable and because you've experienced it so much, it's like you're very trustworthy, you know, like it's like you're not bullshitting. Like this is stuff that you've really experienced in it, and it's amazing. So I like thank you. I am so glad that I reached out to you and so glad that I took your course. Truly thank you. I didn't come into this with like high expectations and I've come out of it like whoa. Like I think I don't know. I just feel really good about all of it. Thank you.